My name's not McLovin, but I love this t-shirt. Funny movie. Okay, today's adventure in Pirate Booty is to save and restore my refrigerator ice box. Okay, let's talk about making peanut butter. And now if you look closely at this, you see those screw holes? We want to get those full too. I want this whole thing just to be relatively solid mass. I hate these little strings like this, drive me nuts. All right, and we'd already talked about this. High density filler. Kind of like powdered sugar. Now, when you mix this, make sure you mix your epoxy first, that 30 seconds, and then very quickly put this in, and then very quickly pour it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a simple batch first, and I want to try to get into these holes as much as possible, and then wipe it up, you know, take it off. Try to get it into those holes. I went ahead and put some cloth in here. All right. I finally wore out these guys. But they worked for about, I don't know, 2 months. They're the big boys now. By the way, these are far the best if you do fiberglass. Just don't leave them together. Any gloves that you fiberglass in, do not leave together. That's what tore those up. Always have your stir stick ready, your supplies ready, and let's get to fiberglassing. This is one of my little favorite projects because I want it to look nice. All right, so you know it, you love it. One pump and one pump only of each. And I need to take the little one gets more air for some reason. Okay. And one pump only. Take these out of the way. If you're going to restore a sailboat, I highly recommend you just get a roll about 5 feet or, you know, long of chop strand mat and biaxle. You're going to use it because if you go down to West Marine and buy the stuff that you saw me using, it costs 50 times more. And it's just ridiculous. And that's why I really like this Total Boat Epoxy. The single pump, nice. Mox Epoxy, I think is 50/50, and I don't know. Anyway, of all the ones I've used, US Composites, West, and Total Boat, this by far wins it. Like I said, it's a little thicker. Okay, now, this is gonna be tricky because it has to get messy. I don't have a tiny, tiny little funnel. So I'm just barely gonna drip it in here and let nature do its work. I'm fully aware I'm gonna have to sand this off. I just want to sand as little as I have to. I could squeeze 5200 in here. I could do a lot of stuff. All right. Now with this little bit that I got, I'm gonna throw in some, well, that's way too much. It's okay. If I waste a little bit. Really need to, sorry, gotta use the sacrificial kitchen knife. Get some of that out of there because I dumped out way too fast. All right, now as you see really quick, this will start to seize. And when I put this much in there, it's gonna seize even. Okay. You can't see this. It's like doing bread dough. See that? That's peanut butter. Now a note about fast versus regular dry times on the epoxies. You'll see fast cure and regular cure. Unless you're working up north, do not use I'm going to put a little patch up here. I think he's pretty good. I got a little bit more glue I want to put on there. This thick stuff, peanut butter, will pretty fast cure. Let's really learn something here. This is kind of interesting. I wish you could see this, but kind of like I'm making bread dough here. You see that? That's quite by happenstance, but it's good. It kind of keeps it fluid. All right. That's done. Using my nasty rags. Clean as much off of this as I can. This will of course turn into solid rock. Always replace this. Mental note, get a spoon next time. All right, now before this sets, just gonna try to clear off some of this goop. At the same time, some piece of wood, I'll see what works, level it out. Yeah, I still think I can get some more in there. Oh, don't forget my little piece here. Just a little bit more. I think what I bumped into is a cavity. So very quickly, let's make up another batch. One. If you only worked with West Systems, I had this little bowl and I'm measuring out 2 ounces and hopefully 1 ounce, or I'm sorry, like 5 ounces or 10 ounces and then 2. Oh, that was West Systems, such a pain in the butt. 1. And the trouble is with most of those, like West Systems, you gotta buy the big ones. Now, if you're gonna be fiberglassing your boat in Toto, get the 5 gallon. And you'll use it, trust me. Put the investment in there, but hopefully you're not totally tearing up a boat like that. Now this one I'm gonna leave pure so it levels out. Kind of rushing the clock here because once this stuff starts hardening, ain't no going back. Let's see if I can show you this. So I want that just barely. Where's my scrap wood? Every scrap wood when you need it. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Trust me, fiberglass is fair to friggin' sand up, especially when it does like it's doing now, where it's stripping. At least get it as thin as possible. Even these little dots are a pain. I think I'm gonna put some cloth on that. I was hoping I didn't have to, but I think it'll get some This is called improvising. And the reason I do this is to darken it, because the clear epoxy, you'll see the hole right underneath it. So this is only coloring. I'm not peanut butter per se. But I want it, man, I'm wasting a lot of this today. There'll be enough paint on here to cover it. Now noticing I'm going to go the edge, big. Is always on top. Knife. So now that I see they look good, I'll put just a tad bit more in there. Seems to be settling for some reason. You can clearly see that hole right now through it. Of course, tons of paint will mask it. These little holes actually are a little more difficult, obviously, as you can tell, versus plain old fiberglassing. Okay. All those brushes I bought today. If you do fiberglassing, 90 cents a piece. Keep extras. Alright, so I'm just going to adjust this so it's halfway straight. Dab, dab, dab. Now for those of you who watched my Fiberglass 101, what do we always do? We coat the area first so it sticks. Always try to get as straight as line as possible. Tap, 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 tap. Don't go too kamikaze on them. Tap, 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 tap. As you notice, you can still see the hole. Fiberglass cloth is out on purpose. It's translucent. Tap, 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 tap. That's all I'm doing right now. And I think we're pretty good. 50-50, that's level. Again. That's as good as I'm gonna get. I'm either gonna get a bulge, a low, you know. If I need to be, I'll fill it. Beautiful, okay. I know, right? Here's after I sanded my cooler top down after I let it sit overnight with the epoxy in the hole that I pulled out. It's a millimeter rise, etc. Now, I could, of course, just sand this all away and get it down there, but what that would cause in the end is kind of like a dip. So sometimes you just got to cut in the middle. So again, total boat epoxy, a little bit of coaxial cloth in there, and just fill it up and level it out. Let it sit overnight and sand it down with 80 grit sandpaper. Where's my little sander guy? Yeah, that guy. And then with 150. And then I cleaned it with some denatured alcohol. Wah. And now I'm going to tape it up and get it ready to paint.
Well, that's all, folks.